What type of all-rounder mage is this? And I think we ran into this guy because he used a dizziness spell, which he did use on us when we were outside. Yeah, we've met him, I say. He was the one who ambushed us last time we came to the surface. What about the other? Why are you talking about, like, why are you telling him so much information? We came to the surface. You give away that information. You know about the auto manipulation techniques now, and you've trained against them. You give away that information. What is this? Is this information exchange or something? What about the other royal guards? Well, there are 3 of them, but I haven't really seen them fight all that much, Lorang says. Usually the captain just takes care of everything in a flash, and everyone else is then tasked with cleaning things up. I'm pretty sure that the one who always wears a red cape uses illusion magic, the other one may be elementalist of some kind, but I couldn't say for sure. Doesn't give us much to go on, but at least it's a start, Darren says. Now the question is, what are we supposed to do with you? You could let me go, Lorang says. I promise that I'm not going to be a bother to you. As soon as I get out of here, I'm heading straight to the town gates and you'll never see me again. Or we could tie you up to be safe, Darren says. We have no guarantee that you won't change your mind on your way out of the city. Or we could, kill him, Darren says. Don't you think that would be a much easier solution to our problem? I wouldn't recommend doing that, Lorang says in a calm but menacing tone. I may not look like much, but I wasn't chosen to be a royal guard for nothing. I'm pretty sure that I could at least take down 1 or 2 of you down with me if you chose to fight me right now. You wouldn't want things to get messy, would you? If people start killing each other in my shop, I swear I won't sell you anything anymore, the shopkeeper said. I mean, technically we could kill you too and steal all your merchandise. When it tells the store owner, it's not like we have to buy any of your stuff. Whoa, Darren says, slow down there. Nobody's killing anyone. Remember now how I made you all promise before entering the city that we wouldn't kill any of the guards unless it's absolutely necessary. It's exactly these types of situations that I wanted to avoid. Killing the king is one thing, but we never agreed to murdering people left and right whenever it's more convenient for us. We either tie him up or we let him go. I'm not accepting any other option. Fine, Melindra says. We don't need to be so dramatic about it. I am only making a suggestion. So what's going to be then? Let him leave or tie him up. Well, leaving him wouldn't really work because the city is in lockdown. He says he's gonna go to the gate, but that's not gonna happen. We're gonna go tie him up, which is much better. I say we tie him up. I tell everyone, it never hurts to be extra safe. Actually, I beg to differ, Loring says. In this particular case, being safe might end up hurting you quite a lot because I have absolutely no intention of letting myself be tied up by you. There is no guarantee for me that you won't try to kill me as soon as you immobilize me. Hell, your friend even suggested earlier that it would be simpler to murder me. Surely you're not expecting me to go down without a fight, are you? Okay, lower rank, we get it. Darren says, you don't want to be tied up, what are you suggesting then? If you really want me to stay in the store so badly, you could ask the shopkeeper to lock me up inside his storage room for an hour or two, Loreng says. That way I could still be out of your way. But you would no longer have the opportunity to finish me off while I'm defenseless. Of course, this would mean that you'd need to trust the shopkeeper to not let me out of that room after you're gone, but it would have been the same even if you tied me up, since he could easily cut the ropes and set me free if he wanted to. That sounds reasonable enough, Darren says. Alright, in that case, we'll ask the shopkeeper owner to lock you up in there as soon as we're done with our shopping, if he agrees, of course. From my point of view, he can stay locked up in there for the rest of the days if that's what he wants. Shopkeeper says, it's all the same to me. Great, Darren says. Well, now that everything is settled with Lorang, we'd like to purchase a few herbs if you don't mind. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? The shopkeeper says. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before destroying the entrance of my shop. Does this mean that you're not planning to sell us anything? Darren says. Normally, that's how things would go, shopkeeper says, but I heard you people talking about planning to assassinate the king earlier, so clearly you are all out of your mind, and I wouldn't put it past you to simply drop my store if I try to kick you out. So I'd rather just let you shop for whatever you want in the hopes that you will leave my shop as soon as possible. However, if you're expecting me to give you any sort of information regarding the plans that I have for sale, then you're out of luck. Yeah, I was afraid you might say that, Darren says. Kelram, can you help me out a little? I know how some of these herbs are supposed to look, but I'm not sure about all of them. Of course, Kelram says, I'm right behind you. Darren and Kelram spend the next few minutes looking at all the herbs on the shelves in the storage room, trying to figure out which ones they need as quickly as possible, since we don't really have a lot of time to waste. Eventually, they managed to find most of the herbs they're searching for, except for one of the rare plants that doesn't typically grow around the city of Olander. Luckily, they were able to find a good substitute for it using the information that Rose gave us before coming here. And the audio is getting really low on the mic for some reason. Well, I'll just boost it in post anyway. Here is the payment for the herbs. Darren tells the shopkeeper as he leaves several coins on the counter. And a little extra for all the trouble we've caused. It will take a lot more than a little extra to fix the wall you destroyed, but at this moment all I wanted to see is you guys gone from my store. The shopkeeper says, at least try to remember to put the rug back over the trapdoor after you get out. I don't want any more uninvited guests today. We'll do that, Darren says, and then he turns to us. Alright everyone, we got what we needed, let's head back. Before our departure, Loirang steps into the storage room as promised and he gets locked inside. We then walk over the rubble up to the stairs leading to the surface. Once we are outside, we put the rug back on top of the trapdoor like we promised, and then we exit the abandoned house. The overseer seems to have left while we were inside because his green-eyed drone is nowhere inside. So what now? Hardik says as soon as we are out in the alleyway. Are we going back to the rebel base? If we need to go back there, then we have to do it now. But says our position has already been compromised. Most of the royal guards are heading towards us as we speak. How the hell did that happen? Wait. Did our position get compromised because Barry can't really hide his aura? Is that it? Maybe our character should not have come with them. That might have been a risky move. Especially when there are not a lot of people in the street, so it's probably far easier to pick out like a group and like single. I mean, even if they can detect the others, they can probably detect like some fuckers walking around. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that if they detect one person walking around, they're going to call all the royal guards in or whatever. We need to go back there, then we have to, our position is already compromised. Most of the royal guards, well, we did punch a fucking wall, so most of the royal guards are heading towards us as we speak. Then I'll have to call Barry so he can teleport us out of here right away. Darren says as he quickly pulls out the transceiver. Hey Barry, can you hear us? Darren says into the transceiver after he taps it once. We wait for a few seconds, but there is no answer. Barry, are you there? Darren says again, this time in a louder voice. Once more, the transceiver remains silent. I'll try calling him as well, Kelrim says as he pulls out a transceiver of his own out of the white robes. Barry, this is Kelrim. Are you in the teleporter room? There's no use, Darren says after you wait a few more seconds. I think someone may be blocking our signal. I'm willing to bet good money that this is the overseer's doing, Hardrick says. That would also explain why the royal guards are able to find us so fast that bastard ratted us out. Let's try getting out of this alley and into the main street, Darren says. Maybe with a little luck our signal won't be blocked in that area. Okay, but let's hurry, Munir says. Right now the royal guards are moving at normal speed. If Gontok starts sprinting towards us on his own, he'll be here in a matter of minutes. Oh, matter of minutes, so he's fairly far away, considering his speed. If Gontok comes here by himself, leave him to me, Hardrick says. If we are now all heading towards the large street that we came from, I have a few new techniques that I'd like to show him. If he rushes here without the others, don't you think it would be a better idea for us to attack him all at once, Kate says, Hardrick. Trust me, we won't be able to take Gontok out before his friend reaches us, Hardrick says. If the other royal guards come here while we're all busy fighting Gontok, they'll have us right where they want us. It's better to keep him occupied while you guys focus on not getting hit by any of the surprise attacks. The last thing we need is for any of you to get knocked out before the fight even begins. I have my stats, right? Strength, speed, reflexes, hearing, observation, ancient language, and a little bit of combat technique, a little bit of premonition. If the next time I get stats, what should I put it in? I was thinking throughout the entire game we have seen a lot of these stats being used. I don't think I've seen toughness being used except for like maybe once or twice when there are like super events happen. Maybe then should I put points into toughness? Man, there's so much I want to do with like the fucking points are so sparse or whatever. I'll try again. The stat page is almost full until they like allow us to like scroll down. I don't think we're getting the magic stat anytime soon. I suppose you do have a point, Kid says. Let's hope that those techniques you've been practicing will pay off then. If it comes down to it, I also have spells that could be of some use to us, Kelrim says in a somewhat hesitant tone as we make our way back to the main street. I sort of invented it when I failed to modify a healing spell correctly a few weeks ago. Last time I cast it, the spell almost killed me, but it also caused strong effects of nausea to the patient. I think if I amplify it even further, it could prove to be a very effective weapon against Kelrim. I'm not going to let you kill yourself just so you can make one of our enemies vomit a little, Darren says.